360 has become undrivable. You can't be inside of this car without taking a bath in the most disgusting, sticky 1990s foam. Look at this. This is honestly disgusting. Cannot drive this car anymore. It's just, look at this everywhere. This headliner is not working out. In one of the last episodes with the Ferrari, you saw that the headliner was made out of cardboard. No way! With someone's billing address. This is a headliner in a Ferrari? Oh. Amy! Check this out.
Stable? Oh my God.
And it was pretty much carpet stapled to it and then smashed up in there. The foam on the roof has been deteriorating from all the wind from driving the windows down. I was clean when I left my house, and now I'm completely filthy. It's literally raining crummy old foam. As you drive, it just showers down on you, and it's going to ruin my seats. So I'm over it. I need to fix this interior. I wanted to try to find a used interior from 360 with black or red interior from the factory, but I can't find it. It's all tremendously expensive, impossible to find, so I'm gonna take matters into my own hands. On the car. God. Dog people get it. We're all absolutely ridiculous people. He knows the mailman is coming. This is the most stereotypical dog. But he hates mailmen. He hates them. Look at this furious thing. Well, now I have to pause filming for a few minutes because he's gonna go nuts in 2 minutes. Watch. Oh, there he goes. He's coming. Are you done? Back to this episode. Champ, good job. Another day of not getting mail.
Hard day's work.
All right, go take a nap. I have a way that I can convert this entire interior from this disgusting crema to black for just $100 bucks. Let's give it a shot. To recap on what's wrong with this car, the first thing that I showed in my earlier video was that the door panels are already mismatched colored and the metal surrounds are in pretty bad shape. I swapped out the seats to these Recaro pole position Abes. Honestly, it made the interior look quite a bit better. A lot of the crema's still in bad shape. The headliner, we're gonna have to make something completely new, but the rest of this stuff, I'm gonna pull out and I'm gonna show you how we're gonna transition these into black. We've got a lot to do, but honestly, I think this will be a really satisfying project. I've never dyed interior before. I've never pulled the interior out of a 360 before, so I was actually pretty intimidated by this. I don't know, Amy does leather work, so you could help me dye it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. It's not that bad.
It's like she's never watched me struggle and curse and scream in the garage by myself. That was easy because I've done it before, but now deciding how to tackle this mess. I'm gonna start either here or here, maybe here. I'll start pulling stuff off. We'll work our way across, back, start unbolting everything that we can and see where we end up. Do the door panels last, lower dash definitely last because that's gonna be the hardest. I've worked on Volkswagens and Audis and BMWs a lot. And I have to say, VW Audi, absolutely worst interior engineering ever. All these one-time use clips that never go back in. They always rattle. They're impossible to get out. BMW, much better. Ferrari's great. It has all of these like threaded holes and it's all bolted in. And then there's just a couple pop clips that go in. I'm confident that this car will actually go back together without a ton of rattles, which is really important. But this was really easy. I love this 360. But as always, gotta find some more absolutely disgusting quality of work in this car. I don't know if this is OEM or not. Sure doesn't look like it. Tape here holding up some wires. Windshield was definitely replaced, super sloppy. The rear window, I don't know, maybe it's OEM. The rear window is super sloppy too. Like the body paneling, bond and stuff. It's so messy and disgusting. I guess you're not supposed to see this, so it doesn't matter. It really does look gross. You know, it's super annoying when things like this happen. Just like long Allen head M4s. It's something you can get at like Ace Hardware, and yet they put a stripped one back in and then there's missing ones throughout. Simple stuff. More findings of just poor work on this car. Definitely not an OEM connector. This is like an aftermarket weather pack. Door lock wasn't working because this right here is snapped and this connects to the door lock on the door panel. Vapor barrier just kind of like flopped down, taped in place. Crazy to me because, you know, I'd made this comment before and people kind of gave me crap because it's a Ferrari, but I was always taught that whatever you have, no matter how nice, how crummy, take really good care of it and it is nicer. Like even if you have a $2,000 car, if you keep it clean, you take care of it, it will look like a nicer car. You know, I said that about this car and people were like, it's a Ferrari, what do you mean? Exactly. How do you own a Ferrari and like do things like this? Like this is crazy to me. It's insanity that someone could own a car like this and just like genuinely not give a shit about it. Insane. We got this mostly apart. The last thing I gotta do is pull the lower dash out. Just take a little peek under the dash and it looks actually pretty easy. It's just a bunch of Phillips heads. Not bad, got it all done. A bit quicker than I thought too. We got the lower dash out, glove box, got everything out, the headliner, all the back pieces, door panels. And the last thing we gotta do, so gotta scrape that off and that's it. This is gonna sound completely insane. I already think it looks better. Now without the crema in there, just the black, it looks really nice. I know a lot of you guys really like the crema interior, but honestly, it was just in such bad condition that I couldn't bring myself to keep it like that. It honestly allows me to try to do something that I've never done before and try to make this work. Here it is. Entire Ferrari 360 interior in my patio. I gotta paint some stuff. I don't really have anywhere that I'm like willing to ruin, except for I have a little bit of a shame corner here with this old rusty shed and some concrete work. This is kind of the only patch of concrete that we didn't change. I guess this is gonna be my little paint station. First thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use this stuff, SEM Trim Black. SEM makes, or SEM makes some really nice stuff, really high quality. So I'm gonna prep these real quick and then give them a quick coat of paint. A lot of you guys are probably wondering, why am I using trim paint instead of something else? The trim paint is a really nice finish. It's like a more glossy matte. These pieces were very textured to begin with. It was almost like a hammer finish on the original silver. I didn't think going with any other color or trying to do it gloss and make it smooth would look nice because the finish is gonna come out rough. So I feel like the trim paint will make it look more factory or more like it's supposed to look. So I think that this will work out really nice. I don't know, but I got some of this in my nose and I can't stop scratching. My nose is so itchy! It's so itchy! Okay, folks, let's try this.
Oh, gross. Wanna like heat this or something?
I do, yeah. It's disgusting. Honestly, maybe we just...
not bad.
Yeah. Just,
You want that all off?
we got the interior completely stripped and clean now. The headliner was a bit of a nightmare to get out. We scraped it all out, and then Amy and I spent some time vacuuming the interior to get all of that glue and garbage out of the carpet. And on to the next step. Maya, come here. Yeah. What's up? This is Maya, Sam Dobbins' dog, watching her this weekend. It's Champy's best friend. I've got all of the interior laid out. It's pretty filthy. The first thing you have to do when you're dyeing leather is to get it all cleaned and prepped. So I have some Gtechniq Tri Clean here. I just bought a new sort of hard bristle brush. That's not how I would clean leather. Usually this stuff is pretty filthy. It's got a lot of grime, oldness to it. I'm gonna attack it pretty hard. I'm gonna clean this stuff as thoroughly as I can, and then I'm gonna wipe it down with alcohol, and then I'm gonna get to dyeing it. Got everything cleaned up. Amy just finishing on the door card. She also came up with a story on why this car is so filthy based on the door panel.
Someone used the wrong thing to clean this leather, and maybe it bleached it somehow, and then they just went, heck it, at least do the rest of the panel.
And then decided never clean it again because you don't want to ruin your interior.
Right, they were scared off of cleaning it ever again, so never before cleaned.
Dude, it's crazy. Just this one section completely faded to a different color, but the interior like cleaned up really nice. It doesn't look bad at all. Unflattering color, but the dye kit just showed up. For everyone out there who's gonna think, why the hell are you dyeing this? It's never gonna work. I actually wanted to default to Amy because if you guys haven't been paying attention, she's been making custom leather goods for the last couple of years now. You dye leather all the time.
I do, yeah. I usually work with unfinished veg tan leather, which is totally different from completely upholstered, finished, dyed, sealed leather.
Yeah.
Tanned in a totally different way. We have to take a kind of a different approach. We need to do a lot more prep work with this. You can't just go in straight with the dye and expect it to stick. You do have to deglaze it, basically breaking up the sealant with alcohol.
Because even though it's a light color, this is not raw. Like this is already dyed.
Yeah, so most upholstery leather is going to be dyed and chrome tanned. What the alcohol does is basically it helps like open up the pores, right, of the leather, and so it absorbs the new dye that you're applying a lot better. So it's not just sitting on top.
After seeing her dye a bunch of stuff, she had made me a leather belt and dyed it black, and I like beat on this thing relentlessly and all the color stays in. So I figured a lot of this stuff is like low touch point. The only things that you ever touch are the door panels. Honestly, they're in such bad shape that even if they come out pretty good, they'll get me until I could buy new ones. But the rest of this stuff, you never even put your hands on. So if we could dye this stuff, it should last a long time. I bought a really, really good dye kit. It should work well. This is the kit from Leatherique. It comes with a couple of different things, which is the leather dye, a prepping agent, another cleaner, and then a rejuvenator that Amy is actually applying right now. It's a multi-step process and it's gonna take a bit longer than I thought because the rejuvenator is something that you have to put on the leather to help like exfoliate it some more. And it needs to sit for a couple of hours, almost a day. Amy's applying it right now. We're gonna let this stuff sit maybe overnight and then we'll start doing the rest. Prep is the most important part. It's the next day. Now we moved all the cars, so we have a workshop. The leather's looking pretty nice after a good old clean and some rejuvenation, but we got a couple more steps before we get on to dyeing it. The next step, pristine clean. We gotta do the pristine clean, and then we gotta do what, a prep solvent?
Yeah.
So 2 more steps, and finally on to dyeing. Time to start dyeing. We have some really fancy equipment here, which is a rag. Just dab this on a rag and then dab onto the fabric. First dab. Oh, it's gonna be a while. This is gonna take absolutely forever. Even with black going over a really light color, there's still not a ton of coverage on the first pass. Back to dabbing. We're making progress. So Amy is working on the first coat of a bunch of parts. I wanted to get through one panel and just see how this would look. This is the door panel after 3 coats, doing 3 very light coats, giving it a little bit of heat gun in between, and then another light coat. And honestly, it looks good. I'm shocked at how nice it looks. It looks like brand new black leather. And don't worry if it looks a little splotchy right now, it's not completely dry. And yes, there is a little bit of texture, I can see it in the camera, but remember, this was the driver's side door panel that was like wrecked. Something was really, really wrong with that leather there. So we're not exactly restoring the leather. If it had some really rough texture, we're dyeing it. It's not gonna look perfect, but this interior is pretty rough to begin with. It looks great. I mean, overall, I'm stoked. Like, this thing looks good. It was a little nerve-wracking to start. Like the first kind of splotchy, and then second, you really start to get nice coverage, and then by the third, pretty much done. You just gotta dab it for a bit. This is like a 16-ounce bottle, and we've used a very little bit of it. It goes a long way. I think it worked out. This all looks pretty damn good. Amy's just putting on the last finishing touches on one of the B-pillars, but this stuff came out great.
So smooth.
Yeah, it looks really nice. And this is still like drying, so you'll see a little bit of texture on it. But overall, I mean, it looks amazing. Door panel looks great. These are on their second coat, so they just need their third. Pretty much everything else besides the glove box, because we got to take some stuff off of it. But everything else is done. I'm like blown away. We're gonna button this up, do a last couple dabs here and there on some stuff, and then gonna let it dry overnight. Amy is honestly the best laborer I've ever seen. She's like unstoppable. You don't ever take a break.
I don't like spacing through.
Me too. I want my whole life to be a break.
I like repetitive, monotonous tasks.
Amy, thank you so much. Hold on. I let the dye cure for about 24 hours. And if any of you guys are curious, it still feels like supple leather. If you were to paint the panels with like that like spray can vinyl and leather dye, it feels super like crispy. But this feels just like leather. You could not even tell this was not original. I was even like playing around with some areas that are like gonna be hidden, like scratching with my nail and stuff, and it looks to wear really well. I'm excited to throw this back in. I even got new headliner material. I was actually like really stumped on what to do with the headliner for the 360, and Amy was like, isn't it going to be really hot if you don't have insulation? Made me think. Nowadays, with everybody doing retro hot rods and also van conversions and overlanding, everyone makes insulation, converting vans into something you can live in. So I picked up some adhesive backed insulation, which is really cool. It's about 1/2 inch thick, and it's got this cool textured pattern to it. It sort of reminds me of like the Porsche Race Tech stuff. This is gonna be like a peel and stick solution that I could just cut the size, pop it up there. I think it'll look really good and it'll be really easy to make because I don't want anything to sag down because I need as much headroom as possible. So first I trimmed up the headliner fabric, and then I realized that I had to clean the actual roof of the car because there was a ton of glue and crap on there and I was worried that it wouldn't stick. I'm gonna stick this thing up and hopefully the rest of the interior work will be a bit easier. Probably should have had an extra set of hands handy. Feels pretty nice and it looks pretty good. All right, let's trim this up. Oh my lord, this is so sick to get the roof panels in. I have to remember the order of operation because when I took them out, I definitely got it wrong. I don't really remember the way it was supposed to go in, but there's like a series in which you get the bolts in and a bunch of clips. I don't know, I'm sure I'll figure it out. Just a couple pieces left. Got this all in. Got the glove box in, even with the badge back on. Just gonna button up the rest of the stuff. Door panels, little odds and ends. Be good to go. It's the final stretch. We're almost there. We got the last door panel to put in. It's all we need to do, and then we're done. Still gotta put the passenger seat in. We'll get to that tomorrow once I get the proper seat rails, but man, this looks so good. It's a whole new car. I can't believe this actually worked out. It's so sick. And the headliner turned out so good. These door panels, I'm so happy I left them to be the last thing that I put in because they really took it all out of me. I got to torture test some of this dye because I had to take these door panels on and off like 4 million times, connect wires and hang them and dangle them, and was being rough with them and nothing wore off. I mean, there's some dirt and schmutz on it, but for the most part, I mean, I was really rough with these and they did not scratch or scuff off. So I'm pretty confident that it'll be pretty durable. Tomorrow morning, first thing, gonna run out, out, go to Gtechniq, pick up some side mounts so we can get the passenger seat in. We're gonna delete the slider. I know I just put these seats in, but I always put a slider on the passenger seat just so like passengers could be more comfortable, but it just doesn't really work that well. I'm gonna delete that and just go with a fixed mount on the passenger side. This looks friggin' great. And if I didn't mention it already, we'll change this when we do the manual swap. I just didn't feel like taking out the center console right now. Till tomorrow. Dude, I need Ferrari parts. Okay, we got what we need. Let's go. We got them. But honestly, big thanks to Gtechniq. Those guys always help me out while I'm working on BMW stuff, and I'm constantly running over there to grab parts or just hardware or tools. And the team over there is super rad, and they're always super helpful. I'm stoked that I could run their parts in my Ferrari. So these are the Gtechniq seat rails, and it's actually exactly what I'm running on the driver's side. You just have to make one little modification to them. They bolt right into the ground. The bolt for the driver's side is slightly further back than on the inside. So you have to open up one of the holes, the seat rail. So this front one needs to go back a little bit. Other than that, they pretty much drop right into the floor of a 360. So if you're looking to put bucket seats in your 360, you could actually go and buy these. They're very inexpensive and they're really nice quality. There's tons of adjustability here. So if you want to move the seat forward or back, it'll work out. So let's get these in. It looks sick. Since Amy's not around to be hyped with me on how this came out, we're gonna go pick up Jolly because I know he'll be stoked to see this. He had no faith that you can actually just dye an interior to a completely different color, so let's go get him. Oh man, it's a whole new car. And it starts every time. I cannot get over how much better the inside of this car feels. It's crazy, 120 bucks all in, and I completely converted my Ferrari interior from disgusting, crummy old crema to black. It looks pretty damn good. I don't think anyone would be able to tell that this was dyed.
That's the prettiest Ferrari I've ever seen.
Thank you.
I've never seen a silver one.
Thanks. A guy who had to have been 90 years old driving a Tesla with a straw hat on just complimented the color of the Ferrari. That's why we gotta change it. Don't laugh at my horn.
Like I love having my rich friends pull up on me.
Shut up.
And then you give me that horn.
Oh, check it.
Dude, how you feeling?
It's good. You gotta look at the inside. Yeah, I'm coming in hot. But then bangs out. Look at the inside.
Dude, how you feeling about this?
Yo, I'm hyped. I want to see what you think.
Hey, now we gotta buy you one of these guys.
Yeah, it needs some little fix-ins.
Dude, this is a complete...
Look at the headliner.
Oh my god. Amy's move or your move?
No, I did that.
Dude.
It's just like van insulation.
Dude, this is a game. Did you change these too?
Nah, those look kind of ghetto. I gotta buy proper black sun visor. Those are just like painted, but no, you ain't blasting me. Just look at the good. I know, it's all floppy. It's the same one.
How did you keep it up?
You just gotta, don't worry about it.
I broke it.
Yeah, of course. This is why, I don't know why I even came to him. Every time, he breaks everything of mine.
Figured it out.
But the rest is good.
Dude, this is so sick.
It doesn't feel like dyed, right?
No.
Like, it feels pretty like originally.
Yeah, I wonder how long it can handle your skin being on there before it just becomes
I got soft, supple skin.
Okay, you're more manly than me. Dude, this is so tight.
Yo, it's not bad, right?
Yeah, I kind of missed the cream, but this looks so much better.
Damn it.
Dude, that's sick.
Yeah.
You should get red seats to match your red valve cover now.
That's the plan. If anyone out there wants to trade me some red pole positions for these black with the papita, hit me up. Hey, Charlie, can you do me one last favor?
Yeah.
Can you shoot these people a good beauty pack for the end?
Probably not here, but yeah, let's do it.